junk. Bam. Pow. Wow. What's going on, peeps? Mastermyne here, and today we're going to be talking about Injustice 2 and some of the new information that's come out about it. There is apparently a new upgrade system that Injustice 2 will have that basically allows you to upgrade your characters and receive loot boxes as you level up. So the more fights you win, the more stuff you can receive that will actually make a difference in how your fighter actually plays. Now, this isn't just cosmetic differences we're talking about here. Let me be really specific. This is going to affect your character's in-game abilities. And the problem with that is whenever you have a system where you're changing a character's move sets or you're giving them certain upgrades, whether you're upgrading their defense or offense, kind of like an RPG, you're kind of leaving a lot of people out in the cold if they're not upgraded enough. So then the game doesn't become a game of skill anymore. Now the game becomes pretty much a game of stamina. How much you're playing, how often are you winning, and what you've upgraded your character to do. And I have really problems with that. I want my games to be based on skill. Let's say I'm using Batman and I'm matched up against another Batman, but that Batman is more upgraded than mine because they've played more matches or won more matches. So that Batman has abilities that I don't have yet. I think that's an unfair system. I don't think that's a good system for online competition, or let's not even talk about what the tournament scene is going to look like when it comes to that. I just don't think we need a system that's going to put players at a disadvantage depending on how much they're grinding it out. I think that right now the message is unclear. We don't really know for sure. I know what I hope it is, but what they've already announced and what they've already talked about doesn't seem to be what I'm hoping it is. What I'm hoping it is, maybe the game is actually similar to Mortal Kombat X in the sense where there's different variations, and maybe each variation might have several different things you can choose from. That would just be a nightmare as far as balancing issues are concerned, but if they were able to pull it off, it would be something that would be pretty cool. I just don't like the fact that you have to earn things to be able to have access to certain moves or certain enhancements of moves, because if you're going to do a system like that and you're putting people at a disadvantage against one another, it's going to create a system where a lot of people are just going to be frustrated. Now let's just say you're playing Batman online and you matched up against another Batman, you're having a mirror match, but they have access to things that you don't. So let's say their projectile is better than the one that you've earned. You're going to feel slighted. You're going to feel like the only reason why you lost that match is because they had certain attributes that you didn't have, even though you had the same character. Now that's going to happen with variations, but if you don't have access to those variations, then what? Now, of course, the game isn't out yet and we don't really know all the details, so I don't want to jump to conclusions either way, but the fact that they've already kind of given this information out, I almost feel like they're trying to brace us for something that they know we might not be receptive towards. And that's a trend that I'm seeing too much in video games, and it's really becoming a problem. I've been saying it for the longest. These mobile games and these free-to-play games and a lot of these models that you see out here is ruining gaming. And I will tell you, if they have a system where it's like Street Fighter X Tekken, I will not be purchasing this game, no matter how good it looks, no matter how good everybody says it plays. If I feel like I have to purchase or earn certain abilities to play online against people, I'm gonna have a problem with that, because let's just be real, not everybody is as devoted as some other people. If you're putting maybe 2 to 3 hours into the game every week as opposed to someone who's putting 14 hours a day, you are already at a disadvantage when you meet up with someone online who's playing that much. Now you're going to give them attributes and different moves and different things that they're able to do that you can't do. Well, what's the point of you playing the game? Is it for them to have people so addicted to the game where they have to log in a certain amount of times every week, or heaven forbid, maybe it's a scheme to have people who aren't playing so much and they see that they're really behind and they don't have certain moves where they just say, okay, for $3 I can get Batman's grapple hook or Superman's laser red eye beam or whatever it is. I hope that this isn't where they're heading towards with this franchise. I don't want it. I think it's nonsense. I think it's something that's kind of ruining video games. But if they're doing it where maybe it's an offline thing, where you're just souping up your character and building them up, and then you can take them on a separate online mode where everyone can upgrade their character and everybody's doing that, and it's not a ranked mode. It's just kind of like a fun mode where you can go online and play and say, okay, this is how souped up my character is, and it's a whole side thing, then I guess that would be okay. But I think the main focus should always be on ranked mode when you're talking about fighting games, and there's no room for that when we're talking about competitive play. I also don't want any loot boxes or special ops packages or none of that shit that we're seeing in other video games. I don't want it. I don't want to see it in any of my fighting games, and I hope most of you agree with me on that. We don't need that stuff. You want to just give us a fighting game and maybe give us things where we have accessories for our characters or different costumes, or you want to have us earn certain stages or whatever. That's fine. I can deal with that kind of stuff. It makes the game more interesting if you're kind of upgrading and learning and doing different things. But when it starts affecting the gameplay and giving people advantages over other individuals, I think it's really unfair, and it's something I don't want to see. Anyway, that is going to be it for this video. If you got something to say, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you once again for watching. Mastermyne out.